Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my Head Teacher Update on Friday, the 27th of January. So, some headlines to report back to you on over the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, on Thursday, we had to close the school to Year 9. My apologies for that. It's always a last resort. Unfortunately, due to high staff absence, that was unavoidable. We'll continue to work really hard to avoid any school closure for any year group in future, but there does seem to be a lot of sickness around at the moment. On a brighter note, our Year 8 options evening took place on Tuesday. We had a magnificent turnout of parents and students with the hall full to bursting, standing room only for our presentation evening and for all the information that was given for that event. And in the atrium afterwards, the atmosphere amongst students, parents and the teachers there giving information about the different option choices was absolutely wonderful. It was also our first opportunity to have our PTA in action with their first fundraising event for our school. And we raised £66 already just on refreshments, which is a great start, which we hope to build on in the coming months and years to come. So on that note, the PTA are hoping to start their own second-hand uniform shop. So with that in mind, if parents have any unwanted uniform items which has the Made in Early Reading branding on the uniform to donate to the school, which they no longer need, maybe they've grown out of that now, please bring that to reception. There's a uniform box there for donations. So thank you for that in advance of your support. So what's coming up at MER over the next 2 weeks? So next week, our Year 11s continue with their pre-public examinations. They're working hard so far, so we're looking forward to them continuing in that vein next week. Also on Tuesday next week, we have our second community workshop. Now this is an opportunity for parents to join us at school to partake in a number of different information workshops on a variety of different topics. The workshops on Tuesday are as follows. We have our science workshop, so an opportunity for you to understand and learn more about how and what science is delivered here at MER through the curriculum and also through the extracurricular program, which is really, really exciting. So I encourage you to come along and learn more about that. We also have experts from the local authority to talk to us and to you about online safety. So e-safety, particularly important with young people. I know that's dear to many of us in our hearts as parents of teenage children. And finally, we have a local charity called Launchpad, who are offering a lot of support to local parents and community around all sorts of different topics, like returning to work, upskilling on digital skills, and lots more. So please have a look at that programme and do come in if you can. As you'll know, on Wednesday of next week, we have the National Education Union Industrial Action taking place. The vast majority of our teachers here at the school are part of that union, and we are anticipating that a number will be striking that day. Hence the letter that's come to you explaining that we will have to close to the vast majority of students on Wednesday the 1st of February. We will be open, as it says in that letter, to Year 11 students for their PPEs, but also for students who wish in Year 11 to come in for some supported private study. So in the letter, it also explains that we will be open to a small number of our vulnerable students and also students of our critical workers. Please complete the Google form, which the company has attached to the letter that came home this week, which also gives the opportunity for students who are working at home but need to have access to Chromebooks, etc., which we can provide as long as we know that that is needed. So please make sure you read that letter and please respond on the Google form. And as I said, more information will also be out to you shortly for all students who will be studying at home in terms of some suggestions on advice and guidance as to what to study and what sites to access. There will be no remote online provision and live lessons on that day, as we have so many teachers who will be striking and not working on that day. And finally, coming up in the last week of term, in fact, the last day of our term in February, which will be Thursday the 9th, where we have our Year 8 progress meetings, our online parent meetings, where it's really important that as many attend as possible, following on from the Year 8 options evening to discuss those option choices with your subject teachers and the progress that your children are making in their preferred subjects to this date. So that's my update for this week. I'll be back in touch at the end of this half term on the 10th of February with a further update. Until then, have a great weekend. Bye for now.